Hello everyone and welcome back to the Call of Duty World at War custom zombie mapping tutorial series. Today we're going to be generating terrain. Now this is primarily for outdoor maps, okay? We don't really need it for an indoor map like mine. So if you're making an indoor map, you can skip this tutorial because it's not too important to you. If you are making an outdoors map though, I really recommend that you watch this video because the reason I do, if you have something flat like this outside and you have like say a grass texture on it, like, people are going to play your map and they're going to be like, wow, that grass is really flat. So it's not going to look very realistic. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get at. So a terrain makes a map look, an outdoor map look a little bit more realistic. Okay, so before I jump into the tutorial, I would like to note that I am using a new microphone. Okay, and what I want you guys to do is comment down below whether you prefer this microphone or over the last microphone. The reason I got a new microphone is because I think the last one had a little bit of ambient noise. So yeah, if you guys could comment down below if you prefer this one or the other one, that would be great. That way I know which one to use for future videos and stuff like that. So please do comment whether you prefer this mic over the other one or the other one over this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. So to generate a terrain, I'm just going to pop mine over here. It's going to look a little stupid because it's an indoor map, but whatever. All you got to do is click and drag to create a brush, similar to how you would a floor in our fourth tutorial. Now it's going to have this stupid checkerboard texture on it most likely. So all you need to do is go to Textures, Usage, and we're going to select Ground. Okay, don't select Floor. Floor is for indoor. Select Ground. And I'm just going to... Oh, okay, don't know what happened there. Scrolled out of my map a little bit. Okay. I'm just going to select a random texture. I'm just going to select, like, mud or something. Yeah, there we go. Whatever, dry mud. You select the one that you want for your map. Now, before we convert this into a terrain patch, make sure your brush is the right size, okay? So if you want your map to go this big, make sure your brush is that big, because once you convert it to a terrain patch, I don't even know if there's a way to resize it. So just make sure it's the proper size before you start. Once you have, go to Patch, Simple Terrain Patch, while having your brush selected, by the way. Terrain Density. Now, this is a little bit interesting, because this is going to depend on how detailed you want your terrain to be. So density just means basically when you create a terrain patch out of this brush, it's going to add squares. It's going to make a grid out of your brush, and it's going to have every corner on every box on that grid. You will be able to drag up and down or whatever, and it will allow you to change the elevation in certain parts of your brush, which is essentially what terrain is. Difference in elevation, which makes your map look realistic. So if we have it by 2 by 2, it's gonna look like it's only gonna have like 2 boxes on here. So it's gonna be, you're gonna drag it up and it's gonna be very pointy, if you know what I mean. It's gonna be very edgy and it's not gonna look right. So you want it high. Okay, you want this high, but you don't want it too high, because my little brush here, there's no sense in setting it to 30 because there's going to be so many squares on that, it's going to be difficult. If you have a very large brush, set it to the max, set it to 31 by 31. But if you just have a little one like I do, 16 should work fine, okay? And I'd recommend setting your width and your height to the same value just to keep it square. So once you've done that, as you can see, it's made our brush really thin, like paper thin. And if you go underneath the brush, you can't see the terrain, which is good. And if we go above, we can. And here's all the little boxes I was talking about. And basically every vertice you can modify, okay? So to modify the vertices, all you need to do is hit V on your keyboard to go into vertice mode. And there's going to be all these vertices, green and pink. These are going to be what you can change. So I'm going to show you guys how you can change them. So to select the vertice, all you have to do is click and drag. So let's say I wanted to modify those. Now, usually you modify them in more than one unless you want to give it really detailed. I'm going to select 4, okay, a little square. What I'm going to do with this, switch to the side view and hit Alt, keep Alt pressed down, and then click and drag on your map. Now, this will allow you to change the elevation of your points. And as you can see right over here, see, it kind of made like a pothole in the ground, if you can kind of see it there. But that is very drastic. That looks edgy, okay? So to fix that, what you need to do is go to Grid and set your grid smaller, okay? Don't make your pothole go that low. Make it go like here. Oh, I accidentally... Okay, one sec. I'm going to reselect those. Okay, so make it go like down to there, okay? Now if we go ahead and look, it's barely noticeable, but you can see how it's kind of made a pothole, and it's not edgy. You can't see edges around your pothole, which is what you want. You want it to be fluid. You don't want it to be drastic. Okay? So just leave it like that. 1 second. And yeah, and you can make it go up too. So I'm going to select different vertices here. Like, let's say these ones over here. I'm going to make this kind of like a big little hill. Okay? Don't do this. Make sure you're a little bit more precise than this. And we can kind of drag it up. Okay? And as you can see, over here, this area is a little bit more elevated than this area. Okay, so make your terrain a little bit bumpy, just to make it realistic. This depends on your map, okay? I'm not going to make mine too bad because mine is an indoor map, and I'm just doing this to show you guys, okay? Now, don't make your things very big, okay? Unless you're making, like, the moon. Don't make your craters huge in your terrain. Just make it a little bit bumpy so that the player notices, hey, this is kind of like real life, you know what I mean? And it depends on your map, too. If you're making a map based on real life in certain places, then make the terrain kind of similar to that, if you get what I'm saying. I'm not going to modify my terrain that much in this video. I'm just going to keep it as it is. I'll modify it more off video, but that's just to save you guys time. You guys don't need to watch me edit the terrain. And like I said, it's going to be customary to how your map is. It's not going to be the same as my terrain. It's going to be bigger, smaller, and it's going to have different bumps and whatever. So just kind of play with it, kind of like what you did with the lighting. Okay, so that's how you add terrain to your map, and it's really that simple. Now, even though it is kind of, you know, invisible from underneath, that doesn't mean the player is going to fall through it. The player is going to have no problem. They're going to be able to stand on it, and it's going to be solid, and they're not going to fall through your map. Okay? I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, please leave a like below, comment any questions or comments you guys may have on the video, and subscribe. Please do comment on whether you prefer this mic over the last one or the last one over this one. That way I know what to use for videos, and that way I can do something about it. So yeah, just comment that. That would be very appreciated. And I will see you guys actually on Friday. Friday I'm going to be bringing you guys a custom zombie map playthrough. And then on Saturday we're going to set up zoning for our map, which I know you guys are all looking forward to zoning. I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm still going to do it because I know you guys need it. And I will see you guys then.